All right, so hi everyone. Sorry about these delays. This is the second major delay. I guess I should kind of explain what happened. Apparently, this on the actual upload yesterday, GoFundMe doesn't actually eh, keep the stuff hosted on their servers. They upload it to a YouTube channel, and it's kind of meant for shorter videos. So, for whatever reason, 15 minutes is too long, and I had to re record because they don't give you a local copy. So, even though my YouTube is linked. What I have done instead is come back to record this, and you're seeing this in a combination of YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, the main GoFundMe itself, all that kind of stuff. Little back of the house GoFundMe stuff, apparently, because I don't stop making content somehow. Uh, but that's not really the delay that caused this video to come out yesterday. As many of you know, we try to update whenever something big is going on. And for a while there, at the end of August, there really wasn't much going on other than just me going to Dallas every week and just trying to keep things together. We had a an attempt to use my fistula a couple weeks back, and it wasn't ready, so they wanted to wait just a little while longer. We did that wait. I in the meantime was using this 5 pound weight on my left arm so that I could build up the area that they used to stick, and that has helped. And we were able to successfully do that yesterday, and that was the whole point in doing the video yesterday. After I had gotten home, because big news had caused me to scrap everything I did last week. That's right. We had a video done for last week. I finally got it finished editing it. Probably late Thursday night after I hadn't gotten home. I just didn't have a lot of energy the last couple weeks. Still using the catheter does a different thing to me at this point. But in general, we were trying to increase how much fluid we take off every session. And so that just coupled me with the general fatigue being ramped up. I just couldn't get the videos edited. And so we recorded yesterday after some big news. And it just didn't work. The big news. Friday of last week, we got a phone call. I got a phone call. And it was from KU Med. You might know that they are the team I decided to go with for Kansas City when it comes to transplant listing. I'm also listed with Barnes Jewish in St. Louis, and we have not decided yet on whether I'm going to list in Omaha. Those are the three closest areas to list with me for a transplant. They want you to be basically within about 4.5 hours of any transplant location. Because other than that, I mean, you got to take a flight to get there. You see what I mean? The phone call from KU Med was a big deal. Not bad news. In fact, it was great news. They let me know that after looking at my charts, my medical history, all the kind of updated things from my dialysis clinic that I use, DCI Belton, that there was only one hang-up about approving me for a transplant. And it was not really a hang-up so much as we have to do it later as opposed to right now. And that's my weight. So they let me know they are comfortable with me having the transplant once I'm down to basically about 270 pounds, which is a big deal. Now, some of you know that the original thought process and timeline that had been discussed with KU, as well as kind of just in general with the doctors involved with me, was that I would be ready sometime in June of next year. With 270 being the goal point as far as weight is concerned, and that being the only real complication to deal with, they don't want me to have any other supplemental surgeries or things like that that are pressing and required, that it looks like I'll be ready for this more in March. The goal was always to get to around 260 by my birthday in March. So this really does change the timetable that we have to deal with. So that's a great, great change and an opportunity for me to get what I need a lot faster and get kind of back to life. That phone call really upped my spirits. That means that basically around January and February of next year, we can start really having the conversation with folks that were interested in seeing if they were a match for a kidney. I know, man, I have a big thank you thing at the end, but I just want to stop and I want to thank, I think there's about 15 of you total that have already expressed that when the time comes that you would be willing to be tested to see if you're a match. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I'm going to cry, but I didn't know that people cared about me that much that you would even begin that process for me. And I can already feel the tears, so I'm just going to stop there and just say thank you again. Just committing to that part of the process is it's bigger than I can properly give thanks and gratitude for. Thank you. So that was the big good news. Unfortunately, Sunday we got some bad news. You might have remembered my Range Rover that I was excited to be nearing being able to drive again, and I have gotten the okay to drive from the dialysis folks over at DCI. They say, generally speaking, and now that we've used the arm access, we kind of know where my blood pressure is going to kind of end up after a session, and so in the face of that, they are okay with me driving. The problem is the vehicle is not in a condition to drive. We were kind of hoping that there would only be a few things to remaining fixed, the things that I knew were wrong, and that would be all. Unfortunately, between a water pump issue as well as several just weird leaks in the actual body of the vehicle, including near the sunroof, I am unable to really get this thing fixed. To fix those leaks and that water pump and other matters that the mechanic let me know about would be almost as much as the vehicle cost. And obviously, in this current situation, I don't have the money to repair the vehicle to make it roadworthy. In Missouri, you have to have a vehicle inspection before you can have registration plates put on. So even though, yes, it's still physically able to run, drive, and do things, it's not in a condition that would pass inspection, and I'd be allowed to put it on the road safely. It was very deflating to get that on a Sunday morning. So we're going to sell it. If you are interested, it is being sold as is for parts. Before I officially listed on, Facebook Marketplace and all these other places that have options for that kind of thing. Folks are more than, if you know a mechanic or you want the vehicle for your own, parts and things of that nature, that's perfectly fine. It is a 2005 Range Rover and has the strut aftermarket upgrades on it. But contact me separately about that kind of stuff. Otherwise, the plan is to basically use those proceeds to try and do the small repairs on the Lincoln that my mother used to drive around in, and see if that can be a viable option. If not, obviously it'll also be sold as is for parts, and I can hopefully find something to eventually start driving again. So that was the bad news. The kind of up in the air limbo situation, of course, is still moving and finding a place to move to. we're still looking at options, and I've already begun starting to pack up the house. There's a lot of things that just need to be gone through and determine are keeping, throwing, giving away, sort of thing. And so more of that will be coming out in the days to come. There'll be an option if there's things that people want to buy or have for themselves. That'll be out there as well. But that's kind of where things are. Gosh, goodness. I think that's all of the major updates. Like I said, we did finally get a chance to utilize the arm. So I am now doing the process of that, which is basically one line of dialysis goes through my arm. That's the blood that they pull out. And then one line on the catheter is used. That's the blood that goes back into my body. They do that until I'm used to this. And then they'll do both needles in the arm. And then after a while, I think it's about a week or so, they'll be able to take this catheter out entirely, and I'll be able to wear regular shirts to dialysis. The other interesting development there is I now need new pants. I've had to find a seamstress or someone to measure me because I don't know what size I wear anymore. And the jeans that I'm wearing are apparently adding a lot of weight to the scale, so they want to know what my actual weight is because it may be throwing off how much is included in my session by session fluid removal. It's very important, especially when I am using the arm as opposed to this chest catheter, that they have the right weight, because what I come back at between sessions affects things, but also how much I actually weigh really kind of determines how much of different drugs and other items they use during my daily process, my session process. And so I've got to find out what pants I can wear and then get those. A lot of my pants and other items were destroyed in the plumbing backup back there in February and March, and so it's time to find something. The other development is getting a bigger blanket for the wintertime, and because I do want to thank my good friend Neff O'Neill. He got me a blanket when I first started getting cold at dialysis, and it's been wonderful. They love the blanket. I love the blanket, but apparently I need to get a thicker one for the wintertime, as they have warned me, and every dialysis patient has warned me. Even the guy that I think people might have heard me talk about before, there's an older gentleman who has been kind of a dialysis mentor, if you will, kind of telling me, what to do and give me some encouragement here and there. And even he was like, hey, when it gets cold out here, you're going to have a bigger blanket than that. So I am endeavoring to find that at the moment. I didn't want to leave without making some major thank yous. The first, my god sisters, Tammy and Melina, have gone above and beyond to make sure I've been okay. They're the ones that got my car out to the mechanic that looked at it. They gave me some very healthy, not entirely sodium free because nothing's sodium free, but incredibly low sodium food that I am able to enjoy eating, and isn't just a slog to have, so I get some good nutrition. They've made sure that at different points where you all's contributions have kind of run their course and been unable to cover things, that they were able to go out and get me to different doctor's appointments and other necessary things. There have been a couple of incidents where I've needed new things, and they've taken care of getting them, and just making sure that I've been all right. They really have gone above and beyond, and it's in a situation where, like, the people that I can count on are really slim. My mother is elderly and can't really do anything other than be encouraging and pray, and her family is just busy doing their own life stuff, and helping with her. It's been really helpful to know that that bond is still very strong. So I just wanted to stop and thank them. And honestly, the original version is I actually started crying, so I'm actually doing way better than yesterday. I also want to thank Tiffany Fosden. She is another woman that has acted like my actual sister in this matter, and uh, y'all don't get to see her involvement in these updates, but she will constantly make sure that I'm okay. Phone calls at least a few times a week, just to see what is going on with me and making sure my head's in the right place. Even though she's dealing with her own life issues, she takes time to make sure I'm all right. She's been out here to Kansas City to help do different things around the house and make sure everything in the house was all right. She does it all. So I just wanted to stop and thank her. Of course, I want to thank the rest of the team: Cliff, Sierra, Devin, Natrina, Marlon. I want to thank y'all for of course all the stuff you all are doing with the GoFundMe here. And yeah, I wanted to make sure I took a moment to thank all those folks. This video has actually gone longer than the original one, mostly because I can be long-winded at times. But I didn't want to finish without making sure that the last person I thanked, and that everyone should know happens by now, and that's my dear friend Shay. Shay has had to more than once blur the lines between therapist and a friend to deal with some of my inane issues, um, as I was dealing with trying to find a new therapist, um, as well as just general life stuff. And so I wanted to stop and thank her before I got out of here as well, because I know someday she's got to be just tired of dealing with her clients, and then to have these interactions with me and make sure that I can get talked through a decision to make sure I'm making the right one. Sometimes it takes more than just being a friend. Sometimes you have to be the professional version of yourself. I certainly am used to that. There are plenty of times where you folks have called me for legal advice at 2 o'clock in the morning. But otherwise, I know that sometimes we have to blend our professional and our personal to make sure that we're being there for people when they need us. And she's definitely done that for me. So I wanted to make sure all those folks got thanked. I want to thank all of you for your contributions, for sharing these updates, and obviously sharing the campaign itself. It was hard to convince me to do this, and seeing this outpouring of love and concern, just really, it is an amazing thing for me. And like I said, I want to thank all of you. So again, thank you for contributing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for just listening and watching this video. And I will talk to you all next time. Y'all have a wonderful day.